So this is not for people who kind of know what you're talking about as far as amplifiers and whatnot go. I just want to clear a few things up for those who understand and those who don't. So we have a better understanding of what kit amplifiers are and what is not a kit amplifier. I built this amp, which has a tag on it right now. Oh, that's because I'm going to build the cabinet for it. So I built this amp. This was not a kit, and I don't want to fuck with it too much right now because it's on top of this cabinet, but that is a hand-built amplifier, not a kit. As a matter of fact, the chassis was even a blank. Okay, that is a hand-built amplifier, not a kit, but also not my design. However, just because it was not my design does not mean I didn't have to lay it all out and figure out how to go about all this. This is F5F1 Champ amplifier. This is once again Rob Robinette's page. This guy has by far the most information on guitar tube amplifiers on the internet by a long shot. He just has more information than, if you ever have an issue, look up Rob Robinette. You'll find it. It's pretty. This is a schematic to layout page, but you can just go to different chapters of his website. So that's where I got the design for my amp. However, it's not like you just go and, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now you have to put it on a board and everything. So this is a do-it-yourself editor for building amplifiers. You know, you can come in here and you can lay your board out, okay? And then like here you go, here's a blank board, an eyelet board. Like I can lay out a board in here, and then I can come in and I can do all your electric to mechanical stuff. If I want to put a capacitor in, I can put a capacitor in here and label it, okay? So and it comes out very nice. You know, if I want to put a tube somewhere, here's like a 12AX7 tube somewhere, you know, you can do it all on the site. And the great part about it is that you can then print it out. And then what you do is you get a piece of board like this. I use this real thick stuff. I like it just because it's nice and heavy. You can print it out and then spray glue it to this. This has got film on both sides. So I use spray glue, and I just glued it to this. And then I took it to my drill press and drilled out the holes to exactly where I want them to be. And then I use these turrets here. Now you can use the awl and the whatever you want to call that there. You can use that with a hammer if you want. I just put the awl right into the drill press and this on the other side, and I was able to press those turrets into the board very nicely. Like this. Here's another. I built a few of these rectifiers. So that's just a piece of that board, and the turrets. Whoops, and I dropped it, of course. So that's how it comes out on that side. Very professional. Just like in my amplifier, if you want to watch that video, you can watch it. I chose the Rob Robinette. It's deluxe, so it's a Fender Deluxe with a kick in the ass. Now, you can go on the internet and you can buy a kit amplifier. This is Mojo Tone's site, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with buying a kit amplifier except the price, okay? You can put this whole thing together for a hell of a lot cheaper than $700. But it comes with the eyelet board all pre-done, and it comes with all the parts to build it. You still have to build it all and have an understanding of everything in order to build it. So even building a kit amp is really not that much different from building it from scratch. I just like building it from scratch because that's what I wanted to do, especially for that first amp. And also, let me tell you, in this DIY layout creator, which I downloaded this software off of Rob Robinette's site again. I don't remember where. This also, there's an option in here where you get your board all put together and then you can test it. Okay, to make sure there's nothing wrong. So it'll actually test and see if this thing will actually pass signal and do what it's supposed to do. Okay. Breadboards. That's what I wanted to get to. Breadboard, okay? A breadboard, okay? The only thing a person ever uses a breadboard for, and there's an example of a breadboard with this valve in it. Let's get rid of it. Can we get rid of it? This is a breadboard. This is what Dave's using, okay? The only thing you ever use a breadboard for is building a circuit and testing it, okay? Now you could build a whole Marshall amplifier on a breadboard, but it's not a permanent circuit. It's not, just because you built it on a breadboard, it's not a permanent circuit. It's not something, it's not a finished product. Breadboards are they're just for testing things. They are for, they're for testing things. That's what they're for. They're for, trying to think of the word. Experimentation. That is what you use a breadboard for, is for experimenting. Okay? Now your little Dave thinks that, well, you just put everything together on a breadboard and put it in a box and now it's a distortion pedal. No one ever uses a breadboard for a final product. They use it for experimenting on. So, I just wanted to kind of point a couple of these things out because lately Dave's had some things to say about this and that and the other, and once again he has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. If you would like to go and check somebody out that knows what the fuck they're talking about, go and check out the dude I told you about, Rob Robinette. If you are thinking about building an amplifier, guitar amplifier, definitely this is a guy you want to check it out. He's, like I said, he certainly has more information on the internet than anyone else. Doesn't mean these guys that are on YouTube that are doing amplifier stuff, they're phenomenal too, but this is just page after page after page after page. If you want to learn how to build an amplifier, this is where you go. You can learn. You've got a lot of reading to do, but it's just an absolute wealth of knowledge. And so if you're interested in this kind of stuff, check it out. And I just wanted to clarify a few things, like I said, with and in that on this thing you can also use a PCB if you want. And then the really cool thing is then you can send it to somebody and have like if you do a turret board like I want, there's some, I don't remember where it was, probably it was on Robinette's site again, where you could send it to them and they will build the turret board for you. And then of course you can also send stuff out, like if you want a PCB board, you can send it to a place to have them build the board for you, and you can just send this file to them and it gives them exact dimensions, everything. So very cool. DIY Layout Creator version 4.29 is what this is called. It's a very, very cool software program. But again, I just kind of wanted to go through, because there's been questions raised about kit amplifiers and what's not a kit amplifier. Let me tell you something. These kit amplifiers you don't just throw it together and, expect it to work. You do have to put some effort into it. And like I said, my amplifier was not a kit. It was, the board design was from Robinette, but I built it from scratch. But yeah, nobody uses a breadboard for anything other than experimenting, period.